The raccoon named Oume. A story from Japan. Once upon a time there lived a man called Kichibei in a little village. Kichibei was very ugly. Kichibei's mother wept over her son's misfortune. Nobody wanted to marry him because of his hideous face. He was still alone when his mother died. But Kichibei himself didn't mind. He enjoyed scaring the girls by laughing and pulling faces at them. Kichibei was the best singer and lead dancer in the village. One night there was a big dancing party held as usual in the garden of the village headman. The garden was brightly lit with many big lanterns. In the middle was the overturned wooden rice grinder used as a stage. The lead singers stood there, singing and dancing with their uchiwa fans in their hands. The last and best singer was Kichibei. Everyone waited eagerly for his appearance. He entertained them with his sweet voice. All villagers were charmed by Kichibei's singing, and even the girls he usually scared loved to dance to his tunes until very late. Next morning there was no trail of smoke from the chimney of Kichibei's house. The villagers went to his house, but Kichibei was not there. They looked for him all over the village without success. He had gone missing. An elder recalled, in the old days it was said that jealous demons would bewitch a good singer and drag him off to their world. When the others heard this, they all remembered that the raccoon Oume was living in the windy valley. Let's go to the valley together. Oume is cunning, but she cannot do anything when we all go there, they said. The villagers all went to the windy valley. They picked their way along the dark bottom of a ravine, a bit scared of what might happen. Suddenly, they found Kichibei. He was sitting quite relaxed on a big rock, facing the raccoon Oume, and they were talking happily together. Oume caught sight of the villagers and disappeared into the shadows after whispering something to Kichibei. He collapsed on the rock. The villagers ran up to Kichibei, calling his name, but he seemed not to hear. Kichibei was unconscious. Kichibei was carried back to his home and put to bed. He slept without stirring for a long time. He was ghastly pale. At midnight, Kichibei suddenly got up. The others were pleased to see him awake and asked if he was feeling well again. But Kichibei just looked at them. His face was blank and he didn't reply. He staggered out, calling for Oume. Oume! Oume! The villagers grabbed Kichibei and tied him to the corner post. He kept calling for Oume. Oume! Oume! Kichibei seemed to be tricked into believing that he was married to Oume, who in his mind was a beautiful human girl. Later, the villagers untied Kichibei so he could eat, but instead he tried to run away. He raved about going to the windy valley and Oume. Oume! Oume! The villagers didn't know what to do. They tied him to the post again and left him alone a lot. Sometime later, Kichibei managed to undo the ropes and escape. Everybody in the village looked for Kichibei without finding him. A few days later, they could hear Kichibei happily singing in the windy valley. They were all charmed by his songs. They stopped what they were doing and just listened. This happened a long time ago, but the story continues to live through the generations. Still today, you may hear Kichibei's songs coming from the windy valley if you listen closely and the wind is right.